everyone. I am Dr. H. Jainabi, Assistant Professor of Business Administration, Jamal Muhammad College, Trichy. We are discussing the subject of organizational behavior, topic morale. What is the meaning of morale? Morale is nothing but the attitude of employee of an organization towards the job, the management, the fellow employees, the supervisors, and the subordinates. That is, the attitudes may be positive or negative. The positive employees will perform the job with the lots of enthusiasm and commitments, and the attitudes of negative employees will slow no interest in work, and we will prove the determinant of in the interest of the organizations. That is the meaning of morale. Then definitions. Michael St. Juices said that the mind's willingness to work, which is in turn affect the individual and objectives. Characteristics of morale. There are 5 characteristics. It donates the group attitudes, and another one is psychological concept, may be high or low morale. Intangibles, it has a relevance only for the human resources. The first one is denote the group attitudes. It's nothing but the morals indicate the collective attitudes of employee of an organizations. Any organizations, teamwork, and therefore the management knowledge of group attitudes. The psychological concept. The psychological concept morale is determined by the mental conditions of individual. The employee should be mentally satisfied with job. The management policy, the work environment, and so on. The morale may be low or high. The morale of employees may be high or low. The employee have a positive attitudes towards the job and the environmental and so on. The next one is tangible attitude. Tangible attitude is nothing but the existence of high or low morale among the employees will not have directly visible. That is, the ascertained indications through which the management can know the attitudes of employees. That is, the rate of absenteeism involved in the labor turnover, etc. Then last one is it has a relevance only for the human resources. This concept of morale is mainly relevant only for the human resource of the organizations. It has nothing to do with the physical resource of concerns like materials and machines, and they have the maintained. The next one is determinants of morale or factors influencing the morale. There are some factors: nature of work, service conditions, types of manager, interpersonal relationship, work environment, personal factors. The first one is nature of work. Nature of work is important to determine the morale in the nature of work performed by the employees. In the challenging natures, the employee who are engaged in the have positive attitudes. In other hand, there are jobs which are dealt and respective to the nature. The next one is service conditions. Service conditions, sometimes the job may be challenging nature. The terms and conditions of service may or conducive. For examples, lack of job security, low pay, inadequate or incentives may be dealt in the low morale. The next one is types of manager. Manager is assuming to the job in challenging the nature and the service conditions also favorable. The next one is interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal relationship is poor interpersonal relationship may be a result is low morale and vice versa. That is, if the relationship between employee or the others, such as the atmospheres may be offer to take the job attitudes. The next one is work environment. If the work environment is highly informal, it will certainly enhance the level of morale of employees. That is, the hierarchy and the approach will have result is low morale. The last one is personal factors. The age, health, skills, qualifications, families like such as the personal factors also determine the level of morale of employees. For examples, if the personals like some of employees is not happy in their morale, the bonds to go down in the workplace. That is the determinants or some factors influencing the morale. The next one is consequences of low morale. The consequences is some of consequences is morale, the lack of enthusiasm, lack of performance levels, poor quality of work, high rate of absenteeism, high rate of labor turnover, exclusive complaints and grievances, increase the conflict in the workplace, loss of duty, mishandling of tools and machines, scope for individual accidents, loss of goodwills. The first one is lack of enthusiasm. Employee with a low morale, lack of enthusiasm. They have do the work in unwillingly. That is the lack of enthusiasm. Low performance levels is nothing but the level of efficiency of employees will have low. When their level is of morale is low, leads to such problems as decline to the output ideal time and so on. Poor quality of work. The result of low morale, the quality of work done may be low. The positive, the poor. For examples, the morale of the office staff is low. The typist may count more mistake which typing the accountant may be commit over the mistake it in accounts and so on. The next one is high rate of absenteeism. The high rate of absenteeism is nothing but the rate of absenteeism in the workplace in the bonds that to be high, which the level of employees increase in low. The next one is exclusive complaints and grievances. Exclusive complaints and grievances is nothing but the morale level of employees continuous is to be low and the management to inefficient towards it. The result of high and the rate of labor turnover the employees is involving in the organizations. The next one is increase the conflict in the workplace. The employees is a lack of attitudes for the work, the quarrel frequents with the each other and with the respective superiors. This is the further effects of works. The next one is loss of due to mishandling tools and machines, which the workers do their work without any positive attitudes. They may have not been careful into handling the tools and machines. As a result, they have made loss of for due to the breakage and excessive for the work. The next one is scope for individual accidents. The scope for individual accidents in case the post-productions works is low morale or fix the part of workers may be result is careful to the accidents is careful to the accidents due to the carelessness handling of machines. As a result of workers sustains the injuries, and some of they may even some becomes disabled. The last one is loss of goodwills. The employee of the organization is general, and some like the public relations officer in a particular work will have to maintain a good support with the different sections of the society. The next one is morale and productivity. There are morale and productivity is two associations between the morale and productivity is explained. The high morale and high productivity, the low morale and high productivity, high morale and low productivity, then low morale and high productivity. The next one is high morale and high productivity. The next steps to improve the employee morale. Selections of right man for the right job. The selection of right man for the right job, it is proper care must taken while they recruiting the persons for various job. The persons without attitudes and aptitude for the should not be selected. It sum to the placement of workers. They should be given job in their workplace, the educational qualifications, skills, attitudes, and aptitudes. The next one is satisfactory conditions of service. Although who have been appointed for the organization should be provided with the job securities. That is, should be given the decent pay, social securities, benefits like provident funds, insurance, debtors. That should be provided the employee for the work. Then next one is conducive the work environment. The working environment should be the made in informals and importance need not be given to the hierarchy level. The next one is conducive the physical conditions. The place of work should be made in the neat and tightly. There should be free flow and natural lights and air in any workroom. That is the physical conditions. Better work method is nothing but the conditions work methods and age. The old practice should be given up. The enterprise should come forward to adopt the latest technology. The employee may trained to make the various electronic device in the day-to-day work. The next one is proper superior subordinate relationship. The relationship between superior and subordinate should also be cordial. The superior styles by functioning must be democratic. The next one, good interpersonal relationship. The relationship between employees should have be proper. The work done in any organization of teamwork in the absence of poor understanding between the employees. The teamwork of possible, the employee should give scope for the personal interest in those organization. The next one is provisions of suitable incentives. Only human resource can be indexed to work. That is, the incentives may be given for the individual performance of group performance. The next one is evaluation of employee performance. Is nothing the performance of employees need to assess the regards to intervals. Is nothing but some employees may be found to the high inefficient. Such possible need not to be retain the work. It only those people who spoil the work atmospheres in any organizations. The next one is job rotation. In if job certain jobs may be nature dulls and the dull and rotations job rotations may be the more sorry the workers that such jobs may be assigned to the works operating in certain level of the nations. The last one is counseling. Employees do undergo stress owing the domestic work related to the problems. That is, the counselings to the enable the employees to get rid of the stress. Specialist may be also be employed for the purpose of providing the counseling to the employees. The next one is measurement of employees. There are 3 levels of measurements: company records and reports, observations, and attitude and surveys. The first one is company records and reports. The company records and reports, it may be classified into the level of employee morale, that is the rate of absenteeism, frequency of leave availed, participations in strike organized by the employee union. The next one is complaints made against the supervisor and fellow employees, remarks to the superiors and subordinates, output produced, targets attainments. These are the company records and reports. The next one is observations. Observation is made by the manager will probably assume the morale of subordinate is high. The sum of observations to be find out, that is the behind the duties, find the target of unattainable, complaints about the fellow employees, then tools and equipments, then find fault with the management policies, then show arrangements. The last one is attitude survey. The attitude surveys, the employees given the 5 options. There are the attitude of surveys is mentioned. The one is 5 scales method. The strongly agree, undecidable, disagree, strongly disagree. These are the measurement level of morale. The next, thank you.